ANA News Kids and a Happy New Year. This week on the headlines we have the main highlight of the year 2022, the death of the football legend Pele and the death of Barbara Walters, the incredible TV journalist and anchor. In the Crazy Culture segment, you're going to be learning the 15 most interesting films this year. And in the Hungry for History segment, I'm going to be talking about the Inca civilization. You're going to be learning about Francisco Pizarro in the Persona segment, and I hope you enjoy. For the secondary headlines, we have China COVID cases rising and the reopening very soon, Cristiano Ronaldo who just joined a new club, the snowstorm in North America that kills 60 people, and the missiles in North Korea. I really hope you learned something new. This week we are interviewing Mrs Nirupama, who is a dance teacher in Mauritius. I hope you enjoy her insightful advice. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment below because we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. Russia has officially invaded Ukraine and both sides are fighting really hard. Many people are fleeing Ukraine, more than 1 million actually, and even Russia now. More than 1/3 of Pakistan is under the water, according to the ESA, European Satellite Agency. The former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who was also the longest serving Japanese Prime Minister, was assassinated on Friday, 8 July. He was shot twice from behind during his speech. Many have criticized him on his participation in the parties with the number 10 Downing staff during the lockdown. It may now be difficult for Boris Johnson to stay as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II passed away at the age of 96 on Thursday. She was the longest serving British monarch, and that's why it's a shocking moment for everyone. The recent protests against the government that started 3 months ago, these are women-led protests, and it started when a woman who refused to wear hijab was killed in prison when she was arrested. Liz Truss, the UK Prime Minister, resigned after just 45 days. She is the shortest serving British Prime Minister ever. Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor, has become UK's new Prime Minister. He is the first British Asian Prime Minister of the UK and the youngest one in 200 years because he's just 42 years old. Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. A whole row of protests started around the country protesting against the government's zero COVID rule in China. The football legend from Brazil died at the age of 82 in Sao Paulo on Thursday. He was a real football legend and he's also considered the greatest footballer of all time. Many fans around the world and in Brazil have been mourning his death, and there's even a national mourning for the king in Brazil for 1 week. Fans in Brazil have been wearing his iconic number 10 t-shirt, and monuments like the Rio de Janeiro Stadium where he scored his 1,000th goal and the Christ Redeemer statue have been lit up. Pele has broken many world records in his life and his career. He scored 1,281 goals out of 1,363 matches in his 21-year career. He also scored many goals and contributed greatly to the Brazilian football team and won the World Cup for Brazil 3 times, the only player to have done so. He scored in 1958, 1962 and in 1970. He was also named the Footballer of the Century by FIFA in 2000. Barbara Walters, the TV journalist best known for her interviewing skills, died at the age of 93 after a great life. Her life was really interesting with a fantastic career. She started her career in 1961 when she joined the Today Show by NBC. In 1974, she became the co-host of it, and in 1976, she joined ABC and became the first female anchor in an evening program. In 1984, she even became the co-host of ABC News' 2020 program, and she launched her own programs, The Barbara Walters Show and 10 Most Fascinating People of All Time. She has interviewed incredible people throughout her life, including all the US presidents and the First Ladies since Richard and Pat Nixon. She is also best known for her interview in 1999 with Monica Lewinsky, which broke almost 50 million views. She will be remembered by many people throughout America and the world. Hi everybody, this week for the Hungry for History segment, you're going to be learning all about the Inca. I really hope you enjoy. The Inca people once ruled a vast empire in the Andes Mountains in South America. Their capital was Cusco, in what is now called Peru. The Inca Empire reached about 12 million people in the early 1500s, and the Inca grew such crops like corn, squash, tomatoes, peanuts, and cotton. Inca farmers were the first to grow potatoes, and the Inca rode animals called llamas and also used them to work as animals. The Inca spoke the language called Quechua. They had no form of writing. However, they kept records using a complicated system of colored knotting cords called quipas. The Spanish began to explore Peru in the 1520s, and by 1533, the Spanish soldiers led by Francisco Pizarro had captured Cusco. Today, the descendants of Inca live in the Andes Mountains, and they make up almost half of Peru's population. Francis Pizarro was a Spanish explorer and an adventurer. He conquered the Inca, who had established an advanced civilization in South America. He was also the founder of the city of Lima, which is now the capital of the South American country, Peru. As a young man, Pizarro explored Central America, and he heard stories of a large and wealthy empire in South America. In 1523, he made a plan to make the Inca Islands and make them a part of Spain. On November 15, 1531, he and his men entered the Inca city of Cajamarca. The Spaniards had better weapons and easily defeated the Incas, which is why Pizarro and his men took gold and silver from the Incas and killed their emperor. Pizarro went on to take control of all of Peru, and in 1535, Pizarro actually founded the city of Lima. The city was the center of Pizarro's new government. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new about Francis Pizarro. Hi everybody, this week for the Crazy Culture segment, I'm going to be telling you the top 15 movies of the year. I really hope you enjoy. Number 1 was Top Gun Maverick. Number 2 was Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Number 3 was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse. Number 4 was Jurassic World, The Dominion. Number 5 was Minions, The Rise of Gru. Number 6 was The Batman. Number 7 was Avatar, The Way of Water. Number 8 was Thor, Love and Thunder. Number 9 was Spider-Man, No Way Home. Number 10 was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Number 11 was Black Adam. Number 12 was Elvis. Number 13 was Uncharted. Number 14 was Nope. And number 15 was Lightyear. I really hope you enjoyed these 15 best movies of 2022. segment, we are interviewing Mrs Nirupama, a dance teacher in Mauritius. She has got a great career and insightful, interesting advice. I hope you learned something new.
Yes, so my name's it's a long name, Nirupama Anand D'sa. I'm actually Indian, but I've grown up in Hong Kong and in England. And we've been in Mauritius for the last, I think, over 12 years now, just over 12 years.
Wow.
And so I've lived on 3 different continents, which I find such a blessing because it's really introduced me to lots of different worlds and that made me very comfortable in those different contexts, different languages, different cultures. And I'm a dance teacher. So I call myself a dance teacher because dance is the most common, along with music and dance. You don't need, it can be any language, it can be any culture, and people can connect with it. So I don't like to specify too much. So a dance teacher's sort of the general name I like to stay with.
Wow, that's really nice.
That's amazing. So can you tell me what you do as a dance teacher, as like a daily job?
Yes. So actually, I've been dancing since I was about 7 years old. And it was always just a hobby growing up. Sometimes a chore where I'd be like, oh, I have to go for dance class. Sometimes. But it stuck with me throughout my life. And when we moved to Mauritius, my children were very young. And I found that the activities available to children at that time, about 12 years ago, it was sort of limited to very classical dance, which is my background as well, or football. There was sort of nothing in between that sort of could just bring some joy with movement and health in mind. So I decided to start teaching Bollywood dancing and just to sort of, I wanted to contribute to what was on offer to children in Mauritius. And now I do children and women.
Wow, that's really nice. And why did you decide to become a dance teacher in Mauritius? What really inspired you? Were you working before, or was this like a spur of the moment decision?
I think so. My background really is dance has been a thread throughout my life. Yes, since I was about 7 years old. I've always been involved in shows. I'm trained in Bharatanatyam. Always popping up, weddings, those sorts of things, but nothing too serious. And I had a career in London in education. Previous to that, I was in science. And coming to Mauritius, my kids were very young, 2 and 3 years old. And we moved to Mauritius for the quality of life, where I can have a balance so that, so the children are not with nannies or in kindergarten full time. We as a family, we can provide balance. And so dance sort of grew from that. I saw that actually children just responded so beautifully to not classical dance, but actual just movement to music through games, improving their balance. So it just started as an idea. In fact, a friend of mine invited me to do a show at Phoenix Les Halles. It used to be the mall at Phoenix. I think, I don't know if it's still there. And that was my first taste. And I fell in love with children here, and they were so enthusiastic. And then I thought, okay, let me start. So I just started teaching every Sunday. So, to keep the balance of my family. And then now I offer 4 classes, and I've seen children grow over the last 10 years, become teenagers, become women, and sort of move through my classes. So it's become a career through a passion.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great journey.
So what do you enjoy the most about what you do?
Oh, there's so much. I think I would have to say how happy. It's a happy time. Dancing makes people happy. It makes everyone smiling. There's laughter. I could have chosen to teach Bharatanatyam, which is what I am trained in, but I wanted just people to fall in love with movement. And so I think the thing I love the most is people come, children come, ladies come, and they may have had a bad day. They may have fallen over, like children may have, fallen over. They might be very tired with school, lots of things. But when they come, it's a very nice environment where everyone is loved and it's joyous. It's a 1 hour where it's special. It's hard to describe, but it's really, I think anyone who's danced in an environment where everyone is welcomed and it's not about perfection. It's just about participating. It's about progress. It's about practice. It's about teamwork. It's those things. So I think that would be my biggest thing. It's the happiness and the connection everyone feels when they come to dance.
That's amazing. How did COVID affect what you do?
Oh, that's a really good question. Because actually online, there was a boom of dance classes available. And I did consider it. I think I ran 2 classes online. But like I told you, I think the thing that I love the most is the connection.
Yeah.
And, being in that space with people. So I actually took a break. What we did is with my dance kids, we created a montage. There's a song called Garmi. And so I gave all the children like 10-15 second slots. And each of them had to be creative and come up with their own thing. And then we made a video montage. So we did things like this. But I did not teach online because the disconnect is too much. And we were so happy to come back into the studio. And with children, they do enough online. There's enough of lessons. There's enough of having to, even they want to relax online. They don't want to have to work through a screen. So COVID affected it, but it was all right. I was happy because I think kids had a lot of pressure already during that time. And when we returned back into the studio, it was very welcome.
That's amazing.
And it kind of went right back to normal. So,
wow, that's great.
That's great. So, what is your advice to kids?
So there's a few things. I saw this on your questions, and I was thinking, what would be the best advice? So I came up with 3 things. I think one is always develop skills. Nothing is wasted. Try anything you want, even if it's just a month of something or it's 10 years of something. It will not be wasted because once you've tried something, you have more courage and it opens up doors. And so always try to develop your skills. I think that's one piece of advice. I think the other piece of advice I wanted to share was the best person you can be is yourself. And not only that, but be the best version of yourself. So be open to improvement and growth. And it's a journey and we all make mistakes. And so be human, be yourself, whoever you are, and expose yourself to lots of things to figure out who you are. And the last thing I wanted to say is everything worth having is on the other side of fear. So in the dance concept, a lot of people are scared, maybe not children so much, but maybe as we grow older, teenagers, women, men, there's a saying that I can't dance. Oh, I've got 2 left feet, and my philosophy really is everyone can dance because a baby, before it can walk, if you play music, it starts to respond to the music and starts to shake. We're born to dance, everyone. And whatever we do there's no wrong way of dancing. And I think fear can stop people from and then once they do dance, the joy they feel, the confidence they feel, forget the health benefits of movement, strengthening your body. It's so good for your brain, memory. There's so many advantages that we all know of, but fear blocks us. So everything worthwhile having is on the other side of fear.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, that was great advice. What you said about being the best version of yourself and always being open to trying new things is really important.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time today. We really enjoyed it.
I love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much for having me. And I
Thank
wish you
you.
lots of success ahead.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and we'll keep
You
in
too.
touch.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Cristiano Ronaldo, the famous footballer from Portugal who's 37 years old, has left Manchester United and has joined a Saudi Arabian club called Al Nassr. There were rumors earlier that he was going to do this, but he had denied them, but now we know that they are true. There was a famous breakup with Manchester United last month, but now he has found another club. He is 37 years old and he is one of the best footballers of all time. He's also won a lot of awards and trophies in his life, and even though this time the World Cup wasn't as great as he had hoped, he was the first man in the World Cup to score in 5 different World Cups. A powerful winter storm killed 60 people in 8 different states in North America this week. The most deaths have been in Erie County, which includes the city of Buffalo. In Buffalo, there are 4 feet of snow almost throughout the whole city, which is 1.2 meters. Although there has been some progress, roads have been cleared and most houses are back with power. Most of the driving lanes are open now, but they still cannot be driven on because of the ban there. It's still very dangerous, although it is all cleared up. There are many deaths there, and it's even more than the 1977 infamous Buffalo blizzard. That time, 29 people in Buffalo were killed, and this time it was 38, which is terrible. The WHO has told China that they must send real-time information and real numbers of the COVID cases. No other country has been sending their COVID numbers because it seems like the pandemic has stopped. But since China started reopening its borders, the Chinese COVID-19 cases have really gone up. Many countries are now asking for negative COVID PCR tests from travelers from China. These countries include France, Spain, USA, Italy, and South Korea, and even a few more that will start doing that. China decided to reopen its borders after the protests all around the country. This was a decision made by Xi Jinping, the president himself, and it was the last stage of the Zero COVID China policy. Now, the borders will be officially reopening completely on 8 January if nothing else goes wrong. North Korea has fired 3 ballistic short-range missiles over the sea into South Korean territory, according to South Korea. This comes 5 days after North Korea launched 5 drones into South Korea's airspace for the first time since 2017. South Korean military also apologized for not being able to shoot down the drones that North Korea had launched. And now North Korea has some big plans. North Korea has fired more missiles this year than ever before. The US has said that US is not threatened at this point, and no other country other than South Korea and Japan have been hurt until now by North Korea. But North Korea is going to be firing a lot because they want to become the biggest nuclear state with the most powerful nuclear weapons in the world.